34-year-old woman beaten to death allegedly by her husband says she knew that day would arrive.
I knew that guy would kill my daughter.
Sad. Thank you for watching Why I Killed You TV. Please make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share, not only to this particular channel, but this particular YouTube video as well. I would greatly appreciate it. We're going to talk about a very tragic domestic situation concerning Myron and Alicia Strambler. On November the 27th, 2024, Houston police responded to an assault in progress call at the Moonlight Inn located at 5212 Airline Drive. Upon arrival, officers found 36-year-old Myron Strambler outside the motel room, stating that his wife, Alicia Michele Strambler, 34, was inside and needed a medical assistance. Inside the room, officers discovered Alicia's unresponsive body on the floor with multiple blunt force injuries. She was pronounced dead at the scene, unfortunately. Myron Strambler was arrested at the scene and later charged with murder. He reportedly confessed to the killing, admitting to assaulting his wife. So sad. So sad. They had 2 children. She had 3 children altogether, but they had 2 children together. Let's run this clip.
They hate you. You're gonna die. I don't want to do this.
A Harris County judge raises the bond for a man accused of beating the mother of his children to death. 36-year-old Myron Strambler, who was arrested last Thursday, is now being held on a $300,000 bond.
Yeah, and the family of the victim, Alicia Strambler, telling us that they're scared of what could happen if Strambler gets out. Our Stephen Goen joins us now live from outside the criminal courthouse with more details on this truly awful story. Stephen.
Sherman, today we did speak to the family of the deceased, and they say while they are grateful the judge raised that bond, they feel the justice system ultimately failed Alicia, and they hope it does not happen again. In court, 36-year-old Myron Strambler just steps away from the family of Alicia Strambler, the mother of his children, who he's accused of beating to death.
He took her with his bare hands like a monster. He doesn't need bond.
Today, in his initial appearance, a judge raising Myron's bond from $250,000 to $300,000, though Alicia's sisters tell us they had hoped for a different outcome.
She needs justice. He needs to not get out. There's no stopping him. If he gets out, it will happen again, as it did before. That's why we're here today.
This past Wednesday, Alicia was found dead inside a room at the Moonlight Inn. Houston officers who responded say they found Myron on a balcony with blood on his shirt.
She was filing for divorce a week before this, so he knew what he was doing.
Alicia's family says they knew about her troubled relationship, and they believe she was in the process of leaving when she died.
I have all the texts. He would not leave her alone. She tried and tried and tried. He just wouldn't let her go.
These sisters now praying their loved one's accused killer remains behind bars. Meanwhile, they say they want her memory to help others who find themselves dealing with abuse.
That person that is hurting you should not be hurting you. He's supposed to be loving you, or she's supposed to be loving you, not terrifying you, not making you afraid for your life.
Now, as of today, Myron Strambler is still in jail on that $300,000 bond. He's due back in court later on this week. This is a developing story, and we will be keeping our eyes on it.
Only on Fox tonight, the mother of a 34-year-old woman beaten to death allegedly by her husband says she knew that day would arrive.
I knew that guy would kill my daughter.
Sad.
And he got her.
Michelle Heath says her daughter Alicia was like a lot of domestic violence victims, afraid to leave and manipulated to stay.
Wow.
When your daughter calls you up from a stranger's phone that she's hiding in bushes with no shoes on her feet to get away from him. When your daughter calls you from a hospital and you hear a police officer asking her, what object did he use to do this to you? And
Alicia Michele Strambler was a mother, a daughter, and a woman who loved life. Known for her radiant smile and infectious laughter, Alicia brought light to the lives of those who knew her. But behind the warmth she shared with her loved ones was a darker, painful reality that she couldn't escape. Born into a family that cherished her, Alicia grew up with hopes and dreams of a bright future. She had 3 children who were the center of her world, and though life was not always easy, She fought to provide for them and offer them the love and support they needed. She was a mother who adored her kids, and her love for them was unwavering. Alicia was a determined and driven woman, passionate about beauty, entrepreneurship, and self-growth. According to her Facebook page, she was a licensed cosmetologist. She worked at Visible Changes, where her skills as a hair colorist earned her respect in the industry. Alicia didn't stop there. She founded her own business, the Art of Color Salon Company, LLC, where she became the CEO and created a space for self-expression and confidence. In addition to her work in the beauty industry, Alicia was a certified tax preparer, running Taxes with Alicia, and a marketing specialist at DITR Reinvestments. She was committed to learning and growing, studying business at San Jacinto College and the University of Phoenix. Through her career and personal pursuits, Alicia was an example of perseverance and hard work, always striving to create a brighter future for herself and her children. But Alicia's life was also marked by struggle. She was in an abusive marriage to Myron Strambler, a relationship that was fraught with violence and fear. Despite their struggles, they shared 2 children together. Alicia's family knew things were not always good between them. Her mother feared he would one day kill her. Alicia was trapped in a cycle of abuse, afraid to leave, and trying to keep things together for the sake of her children. Myron had a history of violence, and he had placed Alicia in several dangerous situations before, where she feared for her life. In 2021, Alicia and Myron were separated after he assaulted her. Despite the separation, the abuse continued in different forms, and Alicia felt powerless against it. Her family saw the toll it was taking on her. Her mother, Michele recalls how Alicia had called her from a hospital, describing how Myron had assaulted her with his hands, and they both knew she was too afraid to leave him. Alicia started writing a book, hoping to share her story with others and offer help to those who might find themselves in similar situations. It was her way of reaching out to other women who were suffering in silence, offering a voice for those who felt trapped like she had. Sadly, on the night of November 27, 2024, Alicia was found dead in a room at the Moonlight Inn in North Houston, having been brutally beaten by Myron. Police arrived to find him standing outside the room, blood on his shirt. He reportedly admitted to the assault. Myron had used his fists and an unknown object to beat Alicia, slamming her head against the wall, causing fatal injuries. It was a horrific and senseless end to a life that still had so much to offer.
Only on Fox tonight, the mother of a 34-year-old woman beaten to death allegedly by her husband says she knew that day would arrive.
Fox 26's Randy Wallace reports from the Harris County Jail in downtown.
36-year-old Myron Strambler remains jailed in lieu of a $250,000 bond, accused of killing his wife. Her relatives hope he will be denied bond when he returns to court on Monday.
I knew that guy would kill my daughter. And he got her.
Michelle Heath says her daughter Alicia was like a lot of domestic violence victims, afraid to leave and manipulated to stay.
When your daughter calls you up from a stranger's phone that she's hiding in bushes with no shoes on her feet to get away from him, when your daughter calls you from a hospital and you hear a police officer asking her, what object did he use to do this to you? And she said his fist.
Police say Myron Strambler, a registered sex offender, beat Alicia to death Wednesday night at the Moonlight Inn at 5212 Airline. He was reportedly covered in blood when officers arrived.
She had started writing a book, was to help other women in this world not to go through this. If anybody can learn from my daughter's death, that's my point. I feel sorry for his mother because we both lost.
Alicia leaves behind a young son and daughter.
He's come at me before, so yes, I'm scared if he got out, he'd come and kill me or have somebody do it for him.
Her family, devastated by the loss, remembered Alicia at a vigil held in her honor. It would have been her 35th birthday. They reflected on the life she lived, and despite the overwhelming grief, they held on to the hope that her story could inspire others to seek help and avoid the tragic fate she suffered. They vowed to fight for justice and ensure that Alicia's death was not in vain.
This tonight, friends and family of a mother murdered in a hotel room this week gathered to remember her a day before what would have been her 35th birthday. They're also demanding justice for the man they always feared might take her life. Jason Miles is on the north side tonight with the story, all new at 10.
Alicia Strambler was found beaten to death inside this motel on Wednesday night. The estranged husband with whom she'd had a contentious relationship is now charged with her murder. In the glow of candlelight near the Moonlight Inn where she died.
You never think it's going to happen to you. And, here we are.
A somber soundtrack played as Alicia Michele Strambler's parents and others remembered her and what they'll miss the most.
Loved life, had a great smile, great laugh.
The 34-year-old mother of three was found dead Wednesday night inside one of the motel's rooms where she'd been fatally beaten. Houston police say 36-year-old Myron Strambler was standing on a balcony with blood on his shirt.
We were very fearful of this happening for a very long time, and it finally happened.
Now charged with Alicia's murder, Strambler's criminal history includes a domestic violence case involving her in 2021 when the pair was separated. That's when her family says this photo, shown prominently during the vigil, was taken.
She was so afraid of him that she was going to do whatever he wanted.
They hope Alicia's life and its tragic ending somehow helps others.
That no one else goes through this.
While they fight to make sure the father of two of her children gets what they believe he deserves.
Myron was arrested on November 27, 2024, and charged with her murder. His history of violence, including prior domestic abuse charges and a 2009 conviction for sexually assaulting a minor, has brought his actions under intense scrutiny. He is currently being held in the Harris County Jail without bond, facing a first-degree murder charge.
Strambler's criminal history also includes a 2009 conviction in Brazoria County for sexually assaulting a child. He's now being held in the Harris County Jail on this murder charge with a $250,000 bond.
Alicia leaves behind her children, her parents, and a community that mourns her loss. Her story is a reminder of the dangers of domestic violence and the importance of speaking out and seeking help. Her family hopes that, in sharing her story, Alicia's life can be a beacon of hope for others who find themselves in similar situations, and that no one else will have to endure the violence that claimed her life. Alicia Michele Strambler was a woman who deserved love, safety, and happiness, but instead, she fell victim to the cruelty of someone she loved. Now her family continues to fight for justice, hoping that her story will inspire change and save others from suffering the same fate.
They hate you. You're gonna die. I don't want to do this.